Hello, NCJW Miami Justice Warriors. I am Joanna Gomez, host of NBC's Six in the Mix. I am so delighted to be your MC for the National Council of Jewish Women Greater Miami Section Centennial Celebration, the mother of all birthdays, honoring the past, celebrating the future. I'm so honored to be here with all of you tonight to celebrate 100 years of NCJW's vital mission. The National Council of Jewish Women is a grassroots organization of volunteers and advocates who turn progressive ideals into action, inspired by Jewish values. NCJW strives for social justice by improving the quality of life for women, children, and families, and by safeguarding individual rights and freedoms. It is so meaningful to be here with all of you tonight as a Jewish woman to honor and celebrate your 100-year milestone. Mazel tov to all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight and for supporting this section's incredible work over the last 100 years. It is my pleasure to introduce to you tonight to the event co-chairs who are joining us from all over the country. Andrea Hartley and Elisa Pardo-Stein will join us with their daughters and their granddaughters. Elisa, please start us off with your beautiful family.
I'm honored to be one of your co-chairs this evening and to be joined by my beautiful family, my daughter Daryl, who's in St. Louis, and my daughter-in-law Becky, and my beautiful granddaughter Emma in Iowa. The Greater Miami section has accomplished so much in 100 years, and we are excited to share stories about these historical moments with you tonight. As a past president of the section and current board member, I am also looking forward to what is ahead. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and a huge thank you to our virtual host committee who helped to fill seats at their virtual tables, and our volunteer team that organized and delivered your swag bags, t-shirts, and birthday nosh. I'd like to thank our event sponsors whose support helped make tonight possible. Our patron sponsors, Accessible Home Health Care and Joshua Lawrence, Joanne Aronson, and Commissioner Sally Heyman from District 4. Our friend sponsors, Joni Glickstein, Charlene Packer, Jackie Packer, and Alexa Myers, the law firm of Pardo, Jackson, and Gainsbourg, and the Honorable Nan Rich. And our advocate sponsors, Barbara Black Goldfarb, Beth David Congregation, Temple Beth Am, Temple Beth Shalom, the Honorable Elaine Bloom, Ava Habif, Holly Levy, the NCJW Kendall Section, Team Wrestler, Elena Rothline, Marcia Satcheloff, Audrey Weiner, and Sharon Udowitz. A huge thank you to Jessica Benitez, whose mother of all birthday invitation design helped make our event so extra special. And thank you to Julie Franz from Della Bowles, Hillary Frankel from Hill's Funky Bakery, and Patrick and Caitlin from PC Events and Experiences. And now I'd like to introduce my daughter, Daryl.
Hi, my name's Daryl, and I'm so proud to be here today with my mom, my sister-in-law, Becky, and my niece, Emma. And I want to wish them a happy Mother's Day from St. Louis. Growing up, my mom was always talking about NCJW. She would go to meetings, conventions, events, and even served as president. I listened to many versions of that speech. A memory that stands out the most to me was when I was in high school and I went to an NCJW luncheon because my mom was receiving the Myra Farr Volunteer Service Award. When I was at the luncheon, it was very eye-opening and inspirational to hear from other women about all of the great things my mom has been involved with in the community and specifically NCJW, and how much they admire her hard work.
Thank you so much, Daryl. That really meant so much to me and brought, wow, a tear to my eye. And I'm so happy to have not only Daryl here today, but my beautiful daughter-in-law, Becky, and my amazing granddaughter, Emma, from Bettendorf, Iowa. So happy that you're here to support me. And wow, so good to see you.
Hi. Go ahead, Emma.
Hi. Happy Mother's Day from Iowa, Grandma Lisa.
Oh,
Hi.
thanks so much. So good to see you. Daryl, thank you so much for sharing. It brings back so many memories about the important work that NCJW advocates and allies are doing here in Miami and around the country. And now I'd like to introduce my wonderful co-chair, also a member of our board of directors, Andrea Hartley, and her daughter, Caroline.
Hello, everyone. What an honor to be with you all this evening and to have the opportunity to take action with my daughter, Caroline. I am so proud of NCJW Miami's leadership and focus on Tikkun Olam, repair of the world, and Tzedakah, charity, that we pass on to future generations. I'd like to thank additional leaders of our work, our co-presidents, Karen Camlet and Jenny Person, our Centennial Campaign honorary co-chair leaders, Joni Glickstein and Charlene Packer, and our Centennial Celebration co-chairs, Karen Sepsenwall and Rachel Unger. We are so grateful for their leadership. A huge thank you to Ondine Jaffe, who has been our bookkeeper for over 20 years, and to Amy Bloom, our executive director and our visionary. Thank you for bringing us all together, for sharing your passion and your purpose, and for guiding us to be the powerful Jewish women leaders and allies that we are. Tonight, we will visit the past and share some historical moments. You will hear from some of our past leaders and also our future leaders. We will honor someone very special who is at the helm of moving our Miami-Dade County forward, and we will install our 2021 to 2023 Board of Directors. We honor our mothers, grandmothers, aunts, sisters, and all of the women who have been involved in this work for 100 years. I am so proud to share this legacy with my daughter.
Thank you, Mom. Judaism teaches us to help and lift people up who don't have a voice. It is incredible that Jewish women started this organization in Chicago in 1893 and then here in Miami in 1921. Our Miami founder was Isadora Ida B. Cohen. There is still so much work to do, and I am proud to stand on the shoulders of my mom and so many devoted and fierce women before me as I look towards a future of taking on leadership roles as a Jewish woman.
Thank you so much to our co-chairs for your time and your leadership. And now we have the opportunity to listen to some of our past leaders who continue to inspire us.
The reason I joined NCJW primarily was because my mother was a member of NCJW. She was also a section president and went on to become a national vice president. And because in those days, it wasn't as common for females, for women, young women, to be involved in community activities as it is today. And so I joined because my mother had lived and loved NCJW.
I loved working with our SPAs in the state who really helped us guide our advocacy work, taking the national agenda and seeing how that fit into what was happening in the state of Florida. I can remember traveling to Tallahassee. I remember going to Washington a number of times, and all of these were super meaningful because for me, it was a continuation of how I was brought up with what my mother did with me. And it might not have been NCJW, but we were out there in Washington marching, and she was being a role model for me. And I hope that I continue to be a role model for others in doing that.
It was where the young women who cared about the world and Jewish community got involved. And I was very happy to be a member of NCJW. And at some point, my mom made me a life member for a birthday present one year. And that was a proud moment too.
My grandmother was already gone before I was born, but I always heard the legacy about what she did with getting the vote. At that time, that was very important for women to get the vote. And with my mother, who was a lawyer, she was all about advocacy. And at that time, one of the major things that they were working on was anti-McCarthyism. So in the beginning, that was one of the things that she worked on. Then she was working on programs related to youth and the elderly. And so I grew up knowing about those programs, mostly around advocacy. She and other women like her in her age group were going either to Washington, D.C., or they were going to the state capitol lobbying.
I joined really because my grandmother, who was born in 1894, and my mother told me I had to. I remember seeing what great connections they had socially and what wonderful things they were able to do and the impact they could make on the Jewish community in Richmond and in the larger community. And I wanted to be just like them.
My connection to NCJW goes back a long way, 57 years. When as a 9-year-old, I would accompany my mother to a daycare center and a local housing project to do an NCJW project. It was really the first time that I saw with my very own young eyes the difference that we can make in someone's life.
Educating my daughter to the needs of the community and getting her involved as a teenager. She stayed interested till she became older, married, president, and starting a new.
I've enjoyed because they're involved in women's issues, advocacy, Israel. And from the days back when my mother and Ann Rich and Elaine Bloom and Myra Farr and all of these women who went on to so many other things in government, and in fact, Hillary Clinton turned to National Council of Jewish Women to get involved in the hippie programs and childcare. So Council has always been the forefront of needs for women, children, and they've done a great job. So that's why I'm involved, and I'm involved because I learned from the best.
I joined NCJW Miami at 2 stages of my life. The first one was last century when my kids were young, and it seemed like a natural fit because as a pediatrician, my goals are improving the lives of children. And as you all know, the goals of NCJW has always been improving the lives of women, children, and families. So this did feel like a natural fit.
In a new career, and I had just moved back to Miami, and I was looking for friends, and I was looking for like-minded women, and that's exactly what the Greater Miami section represented to me. It enriched my Jewish soul, and the values and everything that we did hit so close to home.
Many women who have joined NCJW around the country and in so many different places. I see NCJW as a place to be with like-minded women who have the same passions and the same commitment to Tikkun Olam.
And now I am thrilled to introduce you to Fran Levy, past president of the Greater Miami section and member of NCJW's National Board of Directors, who will lead us in the installation of the Miami section's 2021-2023 Board of Directors.
Past president of this awesome NCJW Greater Miami section, it is my honor to acknowledge our outgoing board for their service. The 2019-2020 board members are ending their service in June under the leadership of Presidents Karen Kamlet and Jenny Person. NCJW members are a motivated and fun collective of thoughtful women who serve their communities and act as progressive change makers. That's hard work, requiring strong, committed, and caring leaders dedicated to making a meaningful difference in the world. So it is with deep appreciation for everything you have accomplished, I declare all who served on the Greater Miami Section Board of Directors during the past term relieved of your present responsibilities at the end of June. Thank you so much. It is my honor, and I am so very moved to install our new board and president. First, I would like to introduce the newly elected members of the 2021 to 2023 board. Eva Habib, Jessica Silver, Beth Horwitz, Brittany Adler, Faith Kohler, Julie Nelario, Elisa Henning, Lisa Jurls, Rachel Samick, Lori Skupp, Galina Ehrman, and Millie Yachter. And the returning members of our board, Victoria Aspura, Rachel Unger, Karen Sepsenwall, Eileen Yasmin, Andrea Hartley, Liza Benkovich, Nicole Graham, Laura Gurin Rodriguez, Charlene Packer, Rena Bass, Elisa Pardo Stein, Dr. Robin Strauss, Natalie Uzim, and Karen Kamlet and Jenny Person. Each of you comes to this position with expertise and ideas which will serve the Greater Miami section well. By accepting this position, you have shown your belief in the mission of the National Council of Jewish Women and your faith in the future. You have accepted the responsibility of giving or raising funds needed to support section activities and meeting obligations to the national organization. Your duties will entail overseeing and approving the section's operating budget and periodically evaluating the work of all the committees and community services. In addition, you will formulate and support the section's objectives, policies, and programs. I charge you now with these responsibilities and wish you success and satisfaction in your endeavors. I declare you duly installed as members of the NCJW Greater Miami Section Board of Directors. I feel confident that you will have the ongoing support and encouragement of every member of our section. We are all committed to maintaining fiscal stability and the high level of service to the community and progressive advocacy work for which the Greater Miami section is known. Mazel tov. And now our new president. When I met Liz Singer, I knew she, like our founder, Hannah G. Solomon, is a woman with intelligence, dedication, and conviction. Fearlessly outspoken and endlessly energetic, Liz has already demonstrated her commitment to our section. Liz, how auspicious that today we are celebrating the 100th birthday of NCJW in Miami. This long history gives us rich inspiration for our work. It's a legacy of continued commitment to improving the quality of life for women, children, and families, and to safeguarding individual rights and freedoms. I know you will continue this proud legacy. By accepting this position, you have shown your belief in the mission of the National Council of Jewish Women and your faith in the future. Your duties will include guiding the Greater Miami section toward achieving its mission while also ensuring the health and well-being of our organization. I charge you now with these responsibilities and wish you success and satisfaction in your endeavors. I have goosebumps. I declare you duly installed as president of the NCJW Greater Miami Section Board of Directors. Mazal Tov.
So much has happened since our last installation. No one could have imagined how much the world could change. This epidemic developed and grew by jumping from one species to another. It had to adapt to its host environment. It gained momentum and was then passed from one person to the next. The bigger the group, the faster it mutated, and the further it spread. History is happening all around us, but it's not a virus I'm talking about, it's a revolution. Gloria Steinem said that gratitude never mobilized anyone. We see the need and NCJW responds. In the past 100 years, we have been at the helm of the issues, the advocacy, and the organizations that are making the difference. This charge to pursue justice, tzedek tzedek tirdof, is the essence of our faith. There are two new ways we are tackling this. As the prophet Jeremiah wrote during the exile to Babylonia, we are to engage deeply in the communities where we find ourselves, to build houses and put down roots, and to seek the welfare of the city which I have exiled you, and pray to God on its behalf. For its prosperity you shall prosper. This means first ensuring access to voting and participation in elections. It also means that we need to push for fair, independent, and qualified appointees to the court. Diversity on the bench and having the judges whom are representative of the community will only benefit the people. To be part of it change, NCJW Miami will be launching Courts Matter campaign this upcoming fall. Having the knowledge and ability to make informed decisions about reproductive health is paramount, which leads me to our second campaign. Florida is riddled with crisis pregnancy centers who claim to offer full services to individuals who are considering their options. These clinics go to extreme lengths to deter those who are pregnant from abortions. This fall, NCJW Miami will begin a formal effort to expose these state-funded organizations for what they are. Please be on the lookout for the Pro-Truth Initiative, in which we will raise awareness and combat these deceptive tactics. The Courts Matter and Pro-Truth campaigns will be kicking off our Centennial year. I am very excited to invite you to be a part of all of these and all of our other exciting programming that NCJW offers. Please support us in any way you can by showing up or by contributing to ensure that the future is safe as we move forward to our next 100 years. Thank you.
I always looked at instruments as things that were hard to play, but it's just been a week and I've learned so much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nobody criticizes you on how you play or your abilities or how you look. It makes you want to have fun with instruments. Like when I grow up, I just want to be a bassist. Yeah. Best place ever. Best camp ever.
Happy 100th birthday to the National Council of Jewish Women, Greater Miami section. My name is Stephanie Taylor, and I am the co-founder and co-director of Miami Girls Rock Camp. And this summer, we are going to be offering a hybrid version of our camp, which will ensure the safety of all of our volunteers and our campers, while also providing in-person and robust music instruction, as well as music production classes, so that our campers can not only write the song throughout the camp week, but also star in their own music video that we will showcase at the finale. We are so excited to be a part of this celebration with you all and wish you all the best of luck in the years to come. Bye!
About Hannah G. Solomon, Eleanor Roosevelt said that her breadth of vision and uniting effort have made her influence felt in all fields where men and women work to create a better social order. For me personally, one of the most important and freeing ideas that Hannah G. Solomon championed was the rejection of the traditional roles of women in society, right down to the awareness of rampant linguistic sexism, resulting in her bold choice that NCJW, by title, be a group of women, not ladies. Who is the new woman who has become such an old subject? She is the woman who has the courage of her convictions, who expresses them when she sees fit to do so, and who follows them when the occasion arises. She is the woman who dares go into the world and do what her convictions demand. Thank you, Daniela, Mayor Levine Cava, for having so much conviction. Thank you for wearing the values of justice on your sleeve as you've dared go into the world as your convictions have demanded.
It is with great honor that we are presenting our 41st recipient, Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, with our most prestigious Hannah G. Solomon Award. By passing on the history that makes NCJW the powerful voice of our sisterhood to someone whose actions focus on all of our issues speaks volumes regarding our mission. The real honor is to be here presenting this award to someone who represents and works tirelessly for everything that generations before us and future generations believe in. Mayor Levine Cava was also a past recipient of our highly esteemed Woman of Valor Award and is a life member of the Greater Miami section. Her commitment and compassion to her work truly reflects what Hannah G. Solomon envisioned her organization to be over 100 years ago. Mayor Levine Cava's work truly shows her commitment through rolling out the vaccines, low-income families housing, helping small businesses in times of the pandemic, adding very much needed police to the force, fair share of food assistance, as well as her work for clean water and a better environment. This is only some of what has proven to be the best mayor for our county. She oversees 28,000 employees, 8 million residents, and an annual budget of over $9 million. That's quite the task. On the list of remarkable accomplishments is her founding the nonprofit Catalyst Miami, as well as her 30-year history of working with special needs children and immigrants at Legal Services of Greater Miami. Once again, it is our privilege to be here to honor you and your outstanding work and commitment for a better, brighter world and future for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much to the wonderful women of the National Council of Jewish Women and to the leadership. coming here today to honor me in this way. I must say that being the first woman and first Jewish mayor of Miami-Dade County is something that makes me very, very proud. And I know that I could not do it without the help of all of those in the community who are fighting for truth and justice and equality and freedom. And that's how I've always done it outside of government, worked with groups like NCJW. And then it was my chance to step inside government and to continue that work, because it was so important to be able to pass laws and implement policies that would achieve those very same goals that we have fought for so hard in the community. So the values of NCJW are the values that I hold dear, that I bring to office, that I bring to service. And I could not be prouder and really more humbled to be with all of you for this esteemed award. So thank you so very much to the leadership, to the members, inside and outside. We will work together because truly that's what's needed to get the job done, and we will get it done. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Now we could go.
We are so lucky to be here with our esteemed Hannah G. Solomon honoree on top of Miami with you, and get a little bit closer and get some other questions and answers as we spend the evening together. So we would like to know, who are your mentors and advocates?
I am so fortunate that I was surrounded by incredible, strong women who I didn't maybe appreciate at the time, but in later life clearly see them as mentors. My mom, who is still my biggest fan, my two grandmothers, my maternal grandmother, who was very involved in the arts and charity and very concerned about Israel, many things that I learned from her, and my paternal grandmother, who was a substitute teacher all her life and dedicated to her two boys, my dad and the uncle, and who really taught me hard work and dedication. So those three were really my pillars growing up. And then I had the good fortune to marry into an incredible family, and my mother-in-law was a rock. She did so much for me and for our children and my nieces. We just are so grateful to have had these women, and they taught me so much.
We are honored to be a partner of Thrive 305, your county-wide civic engagement initiative. What would you like to see the National Council of Jewish Women as a Jewish women's advocacy group work on for the city?
Well, thank you so much, first of all, for being part of that great initiative, which is the largest civic engagement initiative in Miami-Dade County history, with 27,000 full responses and 1.2 million answers. Really incredible what we have learned and how we've engaged people. So I would say just keep on engaging. Your work, not only with the community of Jewish women, but the larger community that you serve, is so critical, because you are the strongest advocates for the needs of children, for the needs of women, for the needs of communities that are struggling. And I would say, take what you've learned from this, continue in your endeavors, build coalitions as you do across different groups so you can have even bigger impact, and just stay active as you are in governance at all levels. I learned a lot about advocacy from NCJW, and that's, I think, an important part of what you do in the community.
Awesome, thank you. And therefore, what advice would you give to women who are thinking about getting into politics, other than joining NCJW?
Yes, I think it's so important to throw yourselves into things that you really care about, that you're passionate about. Learn the issues. Know that when you speak collectively, you can have a really big impact. Know that any kind of advocacy matters, because the public is not usually at the table. And so educating yourselves, training, preparing yourself, and speaking on the issues with clear analysis and arguments really, really will matter. And you can change the status quo. Don't be afraid to do so.
Thank you for being a part of NCJW. We are proud of you as a part of our NCJW community. Mazel tov on receiving the Hannah G. Solomon Award. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a joy. Thank you so much.
By the time I became president, we had actually gotten the authorization to assist in opening a child care center in a low-income housing project called Larchmont Gardens in the city of Miami. And everything was fine except for the fact that the state agency pulled its support from the local entity that was supposed to be actually running it. So here we were ready to open a child care center, and there were jobs to be done, things to be done, including scrubbing the floor. And yes, I helped scrub the floor. I remember my mother laughing at me that I paid to have somebody take care of my children so I could go and scrub the floor in a low-income housing project.
When my professional work was working at a clubhouse, which is a psychiatric rehabilitation model, and NCJW started the first one in New York. So it was always so neat to me to be part of an organization that truly was at the forefront of meeting people's needs and then developing programs. But
everything you learn through NCJW affects and is you're able to use it in other areas of your life. And I always tell people what my whole political career is based on what I learned through NCJW.
Historically, I think the hippie program was and still is a wonderful model for working with families who need the educational help and the parental guidance. And I think we need to really focus on that for the community and the well-being of our cities and towns.
My biggest accomplishment during my leadership, I would have to say, is Casa Valentina. So as a section, we were able to give a cornerstone gift to an actual bricks and mortars cause. We funded the initial building that became Casa Valentina, the initial group of apartments, and that actually dovetailed really well with one of our largest advocacy efforts going on at the time, which was changing the age that girls aged out of foster care or children aged out of foster care. And now having an 18-year-old, I think it's one of the greatest things that we did as a section and an advocacy effort, because I can't imagine sending my 18-year-old off into the world by himself without parental guidance. So between the advocacy efforts and Casa Valentina, I'd say that those were huge accomplishments.
For an elder care fair, I just found the letter thanking all the people who participated, all the vendors, and we had tables set up and chairs, and it was all about elder care for the caregivers and for the elderly people, and it went on for a few days. This was April 1994.
Mother's Day is a day of celebration and sometimes sadness for many, but today is also a day of action. We understand the added toll, especially during the pandemic, that mothers face, and the need for equal pay, adequate childcare, and paid family leave, among other critical policies and programs. We understand the importance of equal opportunities for people who choose to not have children or cannot. Every day for the past 127 years, National Council of Jewish Women Advocates have been working to improve the lives of women, children, and families. The Miami section of NCJW has played a crucial role as part of our organization's storied history. For 100 years, the Miami section has been advocating for progressive change in the greater Miami community, creating community service, advocacy, and educational opportunities for women of all ages, and incubating the leaders of today and tomorrow. Many of these leaders have gone on to the national level in NCJW, including 2 national presidents, a vice president, a treasurer, and many board directors. Section members have also gone on to be elected officials at the local and state levels, bringing NCJW's values into public office. As NCJW Miami enters the next century of advocacy, I have no doubt in my mind that they will continue to lead the way to a better future for mothers and all women, children, and families. Whether it's fighting for safe abortion access, ensuring voter engagement, or developing our movement's future leaders, NCJW's Miami's future is bright. Happy Mother's Day.
The future of the organization depends on the people we are bringing in and getting involved and getting them feeling like they're part of it. And I guess that part always resonates to me as part of our organization, as part of boards I sit on, that it's really the next group that comes in that's really the important thing to look at, not just those of us around our table.
For those opportunities where they can connect with somebody who is in either local office, in the school board, in the legislature, in Congress, wherever they are at a place where they have an opportunity to meet somebody, go up to them, introduce yourself, say what you do with NCJW, say what you care about, and that you would like to be more involved.
So my advice is never give up. Always ask for help, be it volunteering hands-on or financially, because the worst thing they can do is say no. But maybe one day they will say yes. And the more people that we can teach and educate of what a great organization this is, that's our future. And I just wish the best for everyone in the future, because it's been the greatest part of my life living in Miami.
Hashtag God Chutzpah is perfect. I think that whether you think you had it before you got here, when you get here, you're going to find out you do have it, and you're going to love using it, and building it with other women, and having that chutzpah become this synergistic part of your life that you bring to other spaces in your life. So it takes a lot of boldness and bravery and hope and encouragement to create the kind of change that this world really needs, and that NCJW has taken on as its mission.
Hi, my name is Jessica Silver. I am so grateful to have been involved in the Listen and Engage cohort this year. In this time of pandemic, it was more meaningful than ever to be engaged with a community of strong Jewish women striving to give back to the community. Through the cohort, I have found a meaningful way to engage on the issues that I care about in a powerful and consistent way. Whether lobbying a state senator or participating in an anti-bias training, I have learned so much through the cohort. I'm excited and honored to continue my involvement with NCJW Miami by serving on the 2021 through 2023 board as VP of Administration, and by continuing to be an active member of the Advocacy Committee.
Hi, I'm Ava Habib. I joined the Listen and Engage leadership cohort in search of a community of female, strong Jewish leaders, and I found it. I'm excited to be continuing to join the board of NCJW Miami next year as secretary, and I look forward to many opportunities to fight against social injustice.
I don't know who, well, my leadership ability will take me, but I am honored to continue my journey with NCJW Miami as co-vice president of community service. I can't wait to make a difference in our community with all of you.
Hi, I'm Jessica Lieberman, and I have learned a significant amount about social justice movements through the Listen and Engage Leadership Cohort. As a transplant to Miami, Florida, this group has enabled me to connect with passionate and independent local Jewish women. I'm excited to extend my support for the NCJW's marketing committee by creating digital content that serves the community.
Hello, my name is Beth Horowitz, and I was lucky enough to be one of the members of the L&E cohort of this past year. Being part of this great group of women has taught me many things about myself and about Jewish organizations in general. What it has taught me is, first of all, that there are many organizations out there that do need our help. And what it also taught me about myself is how to be a better speaker in general. One of my favorite programs that we were a part of is one where we had to learn how to be the best storyteller about ourselves. In addition, I have learned many ways that I can be a better advocate in my job and be a better advocate in the world around us.
Hello, my name is Rachel Lillenbaum, and I'm so happy to have been a part of the Listen and Engage cohort. These past few months, I've really been pushed to think critically about the why behind everything that I do and what it is that really motivates me. So I'm so grateful to have had that time to reflect deeply on what I care about and be able to take those important life lessons with me into the future.
Hi, I'm Brittany Adams. I've really enjoyed being a part of the Listen and Engage cohort. The program gave me the opportunity to be in space with others who care as deeply as I do about the well-being of all humans. And it provided tools for me to really examine my own leadership. The biggest thing about social justice work is showing up, and so I'm looking forward to continuing to show up for people, causes, and communities that need us, and I hope that you'll join me.
Thank you to the Listen and Engage cohort. I'm always excited to hear all of the eagerness and passion you have, not only for social justice work, but also for NCJW. You are all an inspiration to us. I'm Rachel Unger, and along with Karen Sepsenwall, we are the co-chairs of the Centennial campaign. And tonight, I'm going to make a very important ask. As you've seen tonight, we've had an incredible foundation here in Miami. Tonight, we have honored the past as we heard from our leaders who have been involved with this section for over 50 years. And we celebrated our future as we heard from our new leaders who are launching us into our next century. We cannot do this work without you and your support. Your financial support is crucial to moving this section forward so that we can continue our important social justice work and building our next generation of Jewish leaders. Ledor Vador. Thank you to all of you who have already given. Any amount helps. Please consider a donation tonight as a birthday gift to our incredible NCJW Greater Miami section and in honor of the powerful women in your life. Let's celebrate 100 years as a section with 100% participation. We've made it very easy for you. You can donate on your screen to the right while you watch the rest of the program. And now, I think it's time to party.
Anybody in the audience who's got a birthday today, happy birthday to you.
Good evening, Justice Warriors. I am Amy Bloom, the Executive Director for NCJW Miami. This fabulous evening has been the result of months of planning by so many dedicated leaders, some of whom you heard from tonight and some who remain behind the scenes. A huge thank you to our wonderful MC, Joanna Gomez. And thank you to two new event sponsors, Myrna Morris and Judy Lees. Thank you to all who helped plan tonight for the hours of Zoom evenings, emails, and brainstorming, as well as swag bag stuffing and deliveries. Brittany Adler, thank you for coordinating. This all resulted in this remarkable event. I want to thank each of you for helping us celebrate this milestone birthday by your presence and financial support. NCJW Greater Miami needs each of you in order for us to continue our work for another 100 years. It is time to say goodnight, but not goodbye, because there is still a lot of work to do. You heard about the passion and accomplishments of our past leaders and mentors and NCJW's influence on their lives. And you also heard the enthusiasm from our current and future leaders. You are all a part of launching NCJW's Greater Miami section into our second century. I am proud to be a part of this incredible multi-generational group of fierce Jewish women and allies, supporting and lifting each other up, working together and with our coalition partners to improve the quality of life for all women, children, and families. We are thrilled to work alongside other sections such as New York and its incredible team, Executive Director Andrea Kopel and Director of Advocacy Aviva Zadoff, who created Pro-Truth, which you heard about earlier this evening. And we are working together to start it here in Florida. We are also excited to work with the national NCJW team to begin a Courts Matter coalition here. We invite you to join us for our programming, Rosh Chodesh, a spiritual gathering for women, Truth Tellers, Stories of Justice. We've got you covered. We will be meeting again soon in person to make blankets for cancer patients at Mount Sinai Treatment Center and Holtz Children's Hospital. And we will be accepting applications again soon for our 4th year of our Listen and Engage Leadership Development Program, for which we are very grateful for the partial funding that we received from the Greater Miami Jewish Federation. Do you know someone who should apply for this program? And we are so proud of our NCJW teams who even during this pandemic found time to fundraise and organize a food drive for the JCS Kosher Food Bank. As we learned from this past legislative session, we have several big challenges and hurdles ahead to make Florida a safer and more equitable place for everyone. Thank you to all who have already given your time and financial resources. Please consider an additional gift of any amount. The link is provided in the chat to help us continue our work, as said so eloquently by our incoming Vice President of Fundraising, Rachel Unger, 100 participation in celebration of 100 years. We are the National Council of Jewish Women, Greater Miami section, and we are ready for the next 100 years of taking action. Because we have a faith in the future and a belief in action. We are stronger together and we've got chutzpah. Mazel tov, Mayor Daniela, and a passionate welcome to our 2021-2023 Board of Directors. Thank you to our 2019-2021 Board of Directors. Thank you all again. Happy Mother's Day and good night.
Wow, it has truly been a beautiful and impactful evening. Thank you so much for joining the National Council of Jewish Women Greater Miami section, commemorating 100 years with all of us, honoring the past, and for launching the section into its second century and celebrating the future. I want to wish all of the moms and those who take on any mom role a very happy Mother's Day. Thank you again for your support. We wish you and your loved ones continued health and safety, and we look forward to being together in person again very soon.